Hello everyone. So now we want to learn what is selenium and why do we actually need it? And is it the only itself something or it has some core components or what are the details of the selenium? So to learn all that, what I will do, I will open a browser and type selenium.dev because that is its official website. And if I go to Selenium's official website, it has some pretty neat structure and some documentation. If I go there, it has some documentation and it has a support for multiple languages, Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, and Kotlin. And if I come back to the Selenium main page, it says Selenium automates browser. That's it. So technically, Selenium is a tool which can work with the browsers. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. And what do you want to do with this power is entirely up to you. Primarily, it's used for web applications testing, but people, they can also automate their form fillings or some other daily task, repetitive task if it is. And if I look, scroll a bit down and see its components. So apparently Selenium is a bigger umbrella where we have three core components. The first one is Selenium WebDriver, which commonly known as Selenium only. The second one is a Selenium IDE, and third is a Selenium Grid. So Selenium WebDriver is the primary tool which we will be using during this training. So we will learn more about this. Selenium IDE is more like a plugin. It's a browser plugin which can be used to record and play for simple things, but it's not very effective. On the other side, Selenium Grid is more like an advanced tool where we can run parallel tests. Let's say, for example, we created our tests and the test now, it's a large test suite and now it takes maybe 2 hours to complete its execution. Now we want to reduce that execution time. What we can do some parallel execution. So Selenium Grid helps us do parallel execution. So in that way, basically what we can do, if we create 4 threads of our tests, then we can execute in like 1/4 time, I mean half an hour. So overall 2 hours test execution, we can reduce it to half an hour. So that is overall the introduction, and what we can do now, we can see actually Selenium WebDriver, how it can help us. So let me go to our application under tests, which we will be planning. And this is the target application which I will be doing. I will give a little bit overview and then we'll see how Selenium can help us. So to understand the structure of this web application is it has 4 tabs: a button, request demo, it's get a code. It's more like it's an vehicle insurance website. And it has multiple categories of those vehicles. Let's say move it to trucks. Now, if I go here, this category, then it has 5 sub-tabs. Every tab has some data forms. So it has, let's say, make is a drop down. It has almost like maybe more than 10 values. And the same, this is a text entry. Then we have a date time field, and then number of seats is also a drop down. Fuel type is also a drop down. And if I go to the other tab, it has some checkboxes, some radio buttons, some checkboxes, and next and previous buttons. And if I go to the 4th tab, oh, The fourth tab says complete first three steps. So it means fourth tab requires the data entry into the three tabs first, then it will show something, the outcome. And if I go to fifth tab, then it says select the price option. So okay, so it means the fifth tab requires something to be done in the price option, price tab, whereas the price tab requires the data to be filled here. So if I want to fill this data manually, think about it, how long it will take to fill all these fields, maybe 5 minutes. And then if I say for each type of vehicle make, I need to create one scenario. Then how many scenarios will it be? And then if for each scenario, I want to check for each number of seat option, for each fuel type, and then if I go to the insurance for some couple of countries and some occupations, and then in the product data, some insurance sums and different damage insurances are options as well. So it means overall, it makes quite a large number of combinations, which I will, if I want to fill manually, it might not even be possible. So what I will do, to understand now how can Selenium help us, so I created a little script. If we can run that script and see how it can fill data for us. Let me run that script. Okay, so my application is running and it triggered a browser. Open the application. It is filling data for me. Here you go. So it completed 3 tabs of data within no time, and now we can even see the price tab. And if I select some price option and go to the code tab, it says, oh yeah, you can fill some data. So it means now we know all what the data is, and this is all together. Basically, we would be automating it, and we'll see. This is kind of an interesting scenario, and I would say yeah, this would be helpful, and stay tuned. Now, as a next step, what we will do, we will set up our system from scratch, install all the steps, and then we'll move forward. See you in the next round.